Hi everybody, and welcome to the Desk of Knowledge. This is going to be my first one, and I'm going to try to start doing this more on a weekly basis here based on random topics that I feel like I want to talk about. The big story this week is going to be on Game of Thrones, so if you haven't seen episode or season 5 episode 9, you might want to go watch it before I come out because I'm going to spoil the snot out of it for you. So, spoilers, come back after you watch the episode. If you don't really care about Game of Thrones, come back next week. We'll talk about more other stuff here. But I did want to talk about Stannis, and I didn't really want to do it in the regular Q&A that Earl and I do every week, and I really didn't want to do it as a standalone because, again, I'm trying to get used to doing these videos. And with a lot of things in life, sometimes you just got to sit down and do it. So, let's talk about what Stannis did in episode 9. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's really, if you look at it, illogical. Let's look at the Iron Throne. Okay, it starts out being the throne of the Targaryens, and then due to things that happened before the season starts, the Baratheons are now on the throne, headed by King Robert and his 3 kids. Well, Joffrey is no longer here, so we don't have to worry about him. So, because it seems to go more paternal in King's Landing and on the Iron Throne, Tommen is now the king, as the daughter is often Dorne. Apparently going to be on her way back next season. So Tommen is king, but yet we know that he is a bastard child due to twincest, which is kind of disturbing that there's actually a name to describe what's going on between Jaime and Cersei. So Tommen is actually an illegitimate king, so Stannis is actually the rightful ruler as being the next eldest brother, even though when you looked at the two of them, he actually looks like the older of the brothers. But possession being 9/10 of the law and King's Landing having an army, he is on the throne. Stannis is trying to win his back by rights of conquest because Renly's no longer available. And that's where the problem comes in because Stannis doesn't have any other children other than Shireen. His wife is unable to have any more children. You know, they tried to have several. They couldn't have any. They only had one, live outside of diapers as far as we know, and that being Shireen, which means Stannis no longer has an heir. When, with Renly gone, as soon as Stannis dies, the Baratheon line ends, except of course Gendry, because Joffrey killed all the other of Robert's bastards, which means Stannis could very easily, once he takes the Iron Throne, or use the name that he has king now to make Gendry legitimate, and then he is the last Baratheon. This doesn't make any sense, because he did have a legitimate daughter who was a legitimate heir, and even with the grayscale, you marry her, you get the crown. That does kind of allow things to kind of, ugly rich women are easier to marry than ugly poor women. Let's put it that way. And let's be honest. And if nothing else, he still has he could still have a grandson to take on the throne. Because it's not like, Stannis is going to die anytime soon, except in warfare. Because it seems like a lot of these people, they tend to live for a long time. It's not like they die in their 30s and 40s, like in the Middle Ages. But with Robert gone, with Renly gone, Stannis being the only one there, there is no more Baratheons to put on the throne. So as soon as Stannis is gone, we are done with this thing, and we have a civil war again. So let's imagine that you're a soldier or a minor knight in Stannis' army. Like say for example, Sir Davos. Okay, so Stannis no longer has any heirs. He's a bit on the old side. He just burned his only daughter at the stake for this, red woman. And we've got to go down. We've got to conquer Winterfell. Good luck with that, because they're on defense. My army's not that strong. Then if I take that, then I've got to go down to the twins, and I've got to take that because they're aligned with the Lannisters. They're not just going to let me walk through. Then if I take that, then I've got to get the King's Landing and take out the Lannister kingdom there. So I've basically got 3 major battles I'm going to have to fight, all going south, all low on supplies, and I don't have that big an army to begin with. I mean, we just had to send a guy up to the wall to beg from the Night's Watch. Winter is coming. It's not like there's a lot of foraging to do out there. Explain to me exactly how backing Team Stannis now is a good thing. I don't quite get it myself. To me, you kind of, I mean, I've got, and if I win all three of these battles, now I've got to turn around as soon as Stannis dies, and I've got to fight for the next biggest claimant, which is who's left. Because, as far as we know, Dorne's aligned with the Lannisters, so I'm going to have to beat them. The Vale is under Peter Baelish. We don't know what's going to go on with them. House Stark's pretty much going to be destroyed because even though Sansa Stark's the only one left as far as we know, she's married into the Bolton household. I'm about to go conquer the Boltons. So if I take out the Boltons, I'm going to lose the Starks as well, because if Sansa is actually with the Boltons, then I'm going to have to kill her too. If she's not with the Boltons, then again, she's a female, and I mean, her last husband was Tyrion Lannister. Here's another Lannister. I mean, exactly what am I going to do with Sansa as wardess of the North? Plus, Bolton's already kind of started to wipe through a lot of the Stark bannermen. And they also just lost the war, so it's not like I'm going to be able to rally the Karstarks to my side. So exactly what am I supposed to do when I take Winterfell? But still, I take Winterfell. And then I've got to go after Casterly Rock, I've got to go after King Land. I basically got to reconquer all this stuff. And I'm losing sellswords by the day. Exactly what good am I going to do marching all this time with Stannis? I mean, yeah, he's a great ruler. Yes, he's technically the rightful king. Again, that's being 9/10 of the law. But what's my end game here? To put somebody on the throne that's going to cause us a war in 15 years? I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, Tywin's king of, with a twin sister and everything like that. But, his sister's marrying into Dorne. Dorne's a very hard place to take. They're also aligned with the Tyrells, who's feeding the capital, and their category is also not touched by war. I mean, that's three major kingdoms right there that are all kind of tied together, and that's where a lot of the money comes from. Kind of got a hard time looking to see how Stannis has not gone way uphill. And considering, again, there's nobody put on the throne. The line of Baratheon dies as soon as Stannis, falls off his horse or have a heart attack. And then what do I do? So I don't understand why Stannis would do this. This just, like I said, yeah, I understand trying to get the Red Queen and all like that, but if you can't make a smoke baby, you're kind of screwed. And even if you make a smoke baby and you kill Bolton, you still got Ramsay there who, legitimate. To me, the only choice you've really got if you're Stannis is you pretty much have to hope you can knock up your queen again. And if I'm a king in his army, that's just not something that I'm into. Well, that's my thoughts on what Stannis did in episode 9. I'll try to come back next week. I think we'll probably talk for some movies or something like that. But again, I do want to thank you for listening. And y'all have a great day. Please make sure you hit 7poundbag.com. We're going to have our next for the season finale on Tuesday. If you've got any questions for me or Earl, by all means drop by and let us know. Please subscribe because we've got the In My Damn Opinion from Eric, which goes up every Thursday. And y'all have a great weekend. And again, thank you for watching. Please leave comments because Lord knows I'm a sucker for them. Have a good one.